generally speaking, the builders are looking pretty happy right now. And homeowners and sellers are looking happy because, their assets are appreciating, and anyone who's trying to sell can do it very quickly.
Everybody's happy. Home sales way up across the valley and foreclosures are way down. The bust apparently behind us. Can we thank Barack Obama? President Obama coming to Phoenix Tuesday to highlight the nation's housing recovery. Just 4 years ago, in 2009, the then new president traveled to Mesa to talk about a housing crisis unlike any we've ever known, in his words. He laid out his plans for dealing with it. So, how much credit does the president get for the recovery? Joining us to talk about that, Jim Belfiore of Belfiore Real Estate Consulting and an expert in market research, and Fletcher Wilcox, real estate analyst at Grand Canyon Title Agency. Now, I'm going to start with you, Fletcher. You pulled some baseline numbers to show us where the housing market is at and where it was. Let's put those up on the screen right now. June of 09, 7,266 new foreclosures versus just 1,164 this past June. Huge drop. Let's look at single-family home sales under $50,000. These numbers blew me away. Just 6 of those sales in all of 2007. 2 years later, 7,734 sales of homes under 50 grand. And then the first 6 months of this year, just 443. So another big drop there. And finally, median sales price peaked in June of 06, 7 years ago, at $287,500. It bottomed out in August of 11, just 2 years ago, at $120,000, and climbed all the way back to $206,000 by this past June. Fletcher, those numbers, do they tell you the housing recession is over?
The housing recession is over. Now, when I say that, a lot of people are going to go, but there's a lot of people still hurting, still in trouble. But for all practical purposes, it is over, and we're in a rebound mode right now.
Jim, you agree?
Absolutely. We have a strong rebound underway. We noticed that actually in the data late in 2011. By September 2011, the market was coming back for homes. It was very slow. It's been slow, but it's been coming back. Last year gained steam, and this year it's gained a lot of steam, and we anticipate that continuing for the next 24 to 36 months.
Now, you and I were talking. You pointed out that the president spoke here in 09, but we were in trouble by 06.
Absolutely, yeah. If you look at the new home data in particular, a lot of the homes that we sold in 2004 and 2005 were new homes. If you were to look at the new home market, the home builders knew late in 2005, early 2006, that the housing market was in trouble.
So what that gets at is this has been a really long slog. But now, as you both agree, we're pulling out. The big question is why? Did the White House programs help us? Was this a natural market response? Was it Ben Bernanke and cheap money? Fletcher.
I'm going to say, unfortunately, the White House programs probably did very little. I think Arizona got about $268 million in June of 2011. The worst of the program was over. I think out of that money, we've helped about 2,000 homeowners. Since June of 2011, there's been about 80,000 foreclosures and short sales. So 2,000 maybe were helped, 80,000 weren't.
And so I'm pointing out the HARP program, the Housing Affordable Refinance Program, evidence shows it really didn't make an impact until last year.
Absolutely.
In Arizona, once the feds figured out the problems and corrected them.
Yeah, I'll give the president a point on that one. And the HARP, the refi booms really started about April of last year. And since then, we've had between 10 and 11,000 refinances a month in Maricopa County. And about 40% of those are HARP. And it's been positive. The average household's probably lowered their monthly payment $200 or $300, which in tough times is a lot of money.
So the big Fed help, you think, really kicked in about the middle of last year, Jim?
I couldn't agree more with Fletcher on that topic. The reality is, the president is going to come in and he is going to take a lot of credit for the housing recovery here in Phoenix and in the greater Arizona area, much like he did with Intel coming in after construction had started and Chandler in the state of Arizona had brought Intel in and brought some expansion in that area. But the reality is we were through the crisis already when this refinancing started up. The programs that the federal government rolled out were much later. We were beyond the problem. And what really, Brahm, creates an opportunity for the housing market to recover is jobs. It's jobs and population growth. In 2011, towards the middle to end of 2011, we had created 25,000 jobs year over year. That countered some of that 230,000 we had lost in the previous 22 months. And last year we continued 35 to 40,000 jobs last year. Year over year today, 50,000 plus jobs. And we now have an opportunity to see real population growth at a time when we don't have an overstock or an oversupply of housing. And so I would anticipate 115, 120,000 people coming in here. That includes 40,000 or so natural births. Some sincere and serious population growth that will drive housing
So
back.
you think it's all about population. Fletcher, is it all about Ben Bernanke's cheap money?
Well, the cheap money has helped us. There's no doubt about it. The bond buying, the mortgage securities, yes, it has kept.
Put your finger on one thing you think has helped bring us back.
Well, I'm going to go back to what Jim's saying. It's the job growth year to year. The metropolitan Phoenix was number 6 in for June for job growth of metropolitans over 1 million. So we got job growth, population growth, and we just have more. And when it comes to the housing market, we have more demand and more buyers than there is supply, and it's going to keep pushing prices upward.
All right, we'll have to see. I saw. Got to cut it off there.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I'd love to keep this discussion going. It's fascinating. We'll just have to see what the president says this week. He agrees with you guys.
Sounds like fun.
All right, Jim Belfiore, Fletcher Wilcox, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Brahm.
Thank you, Brahm.
And when we come back, your thoughts about last week's conversation with the 2 Phoenix District 6 council candidates. Stay with us.